Okay, so about to get into this. Fair use. I'll talk radio live in 4K.
Black slang.
Yeah.
This is the fact that you keep saying black.
I love them too.
Right?
Blacks.
I love them.
Hell, we don't believe you, bro.
Yeah,
We don't believe
just
you.
say-
How she
just say
refer to y'all?
slow.
How she refer to blacks then? How she refer to?
You don't want to hear my second choice.
Oh yeah, I
wanna hear it.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. That was,
He's funny. You should actually do stand up sometime. Maybe it would
yeah,
actually
maybe.
come off.
Maybe.
I think she's joking.
Okay. No.
I hope so.
Do it, Nick. Do it.
No, I can't.
How could it
That would be
get
polite.
Do it next so you can
Comedy
get
Central.
banned again.
I can't get these guys back.
We're on Rumble. You can say it.
Say it. Come on, man. I want you to say
Say
it.
it.
It's sad that you got all these women here who are doing this for money, selling themselves out to be verbally abused by a white supremacist who allowed minors to be abused by his partner in a business. Okay. What was it called? America First. And this is a guy who also dates men on the side. Okay. Who dates a man who wears cat ears. This is what Fresh and Fit is bringing on to their panel. Well, you could not be surprised since Myron was caught in 4K in bed with another man. And at a festival where they were doing things that would make you puke if you caught them in the act.
Hey, what you got?
You want me to say it?
Yes.
Is anyone going to hit me if I say it?
This is how it's going. This is how it's going. All right. You want to have a white man to be okay to say a racial slur. It's funny they wouldn't bring somebody, like Richard Spencer on there and have him say some racial slurs against who. Okay. That's the funny thing. You want him to say the N-word. How come you don't want him to say any other racial slur against Asians or, people that are the small hats? Come on, Nick, say that word. Come on, say that word. Because they know they don't want the Kyrie Irving treatment. They don't want the Kanye West treatment. But yeah, to blacks, yeah, it's okay. Say the N-word because Myron is Middle Eastern. He's not black. That's why he could say that. That's why he's saying that. It's okay. Say the N-word. Say the N-word. Buck dancing and.
Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right.
And the fact that, if you check the Rumble, they're having trying to have intelligent conversations with IG models and strippers and OnlyFans models about race. It's going to be in your favor. The argument's going to be in your favor because you don't have any real pushback. These women don't study stuff like that. So you sound like the smartest people in the room. You and Myron. You sound like the smartest, intelligent people on that panel. But bring up women that actually know what they're talking about, and then you're gonna end up trying to kick them out and shutting your mouth.
Oh yeah, ban them now. It's okay.
I'm not saying that.
Sometimes I think this is kind of like social engineering because this will be a way for them to downplay racial slurs and downplay racism in this country. All right. Well, you got blacks who say it. Every black person doesn't say that word. And these are the types of people that want to say that word. These are the type of whites who want to say that word. You don't want to say anything racial slurs towards Jews or Asians or Indians, but you want to say something towards blacks. Why is that? Why is that such a passionate discussion for you? Okay. Common sense would say, well, this is that word, the NIGGA, is a word of endearment among people who are in the hip hop community or listen to hip hop or are from the urban black community. The ghettos, the places where there's high crime. That's the word of endearment towards them. It's like with among women who are for ratchet or women who are just from rough upbringings, they would say, "Hey, slut," or call each other a female dog because they're from that type of harsh environment. Okay. But you don't see a man wanting to say that word to a woman, asking why can't he say that word to him because two women are saying that, because that's among their culture. That's why. That's among the hood culture. That isn't every black person. Okay. It's pathetic.
Yo, it is amazing to me how a word can get everybody so bad, bro. Wait, hold on. Yo.
Yeah, he could say that because Myron is not black. So he's in the outside looking in. And he could just laugh, "Oh, how can you let a word?" But if they would say something about him, his ethnicity, he would be pissed. Or talk about the fact that that he likes to go both ways. As he was saying it about going on going on Grinder. And Myron was talking about that on TikTok. It's easy. You could just be with another man, and that's it. You just got to do that. That's just how it is. It's all right.
But you asked for it.
We didn't ask for it. You guys asked for it.
I definitely want to know what's on your top, because you gonna definitely know what's on mine.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, like I told you guys, there are going to be a lot of think pieces that are going to come out about this, especially from the, pro-black community, right? They're going to have a lot to say about this. And the reason why is because Fresh and Fit have a largely black audience, right? Just like Just Pearly Things has a largely black audience, and they are dominating their spaces, right? Over people who've been in this space for a long time, okay? And with Fresh and Fit not being actual black Americans, there's a lot of people that take issue with the fact they have a largely black audience and they're not black. And they're all—
I don't think it's just that's a largely black audience. I think they have different ethnicities liking their content. I don't believe a word coming out of this clown servitor's mouth.
Also saying and doing things like this, okay? That is what Fresh and Fit have been doing. They've been really pushing the envelope in regards to censorship or the, ability to, say whatever they want to say on their podcast, which in my opinion, okay, I mean, they've taken it very far, but I do respect the cause, right? Because I think that free speech is important, right? So that being said, again, there's going to be a lot of fake outrage about Nick Fuentes saying the N-word, in which he was told by the black women on the podcast, surrounded by black women. Also, by the way, Nick Fuentes, allegedly a white supremacist, right? Allegedly hates black people.
He's not allegedly. He does hate black people. He even made comments about an Italian woman on Just Pearly Things show dating King Richards, who is black, and said, "You're the one that's dating a black guy." She said, "The Italians don't claim you." He was like, "Oh, please, you're the one dating a black guy." Allegedly. You see how this clown conservative acts? This is how they act. Just to buck dance and be slaves for white supremacy. But when things get real, he'll start crying and whining about how this happened to me, because the white supremacists don't like you. Your white racist fan base does not like you. They just want the right to say the N-word and the right to harm you when the time is right.
People, deplorable person, right? But lately, it seems like Nick Fuentes has been hanging around a lot of black folks, right? I'm not sure how many white supremacists want to hang around black people. Okay, I think I've seen Nick Fuentes more black people than white people at this point.
People will hang around you if there's a purpose involved, and if the purpose is money and getting notoriety, and they probably were paying him to be on that show because he can't really be anywhere else since he's been banned from many platforms. Okay. He doesn't think.
Right. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised.
he thinks, but like I said, he got to get those digital buttermilk biscuits. So he has to make up things that make racists feel better. Oh, he's allegedly a white supremacist. Right. Yet everything that came out of his mouth on Just Pearly things proves that he is a white supremacist. Okay.
If he ended up clapping some cheeks after the show, or at very least attempting to do so, okay? Because he seems to me, he might be interested in black women. I don't know, okay? I'm just
making the stupidest comments. There are racist white men that will still smash black women because they think they're beneath them. That's it. What are you talking about?
joking. But with that being said, again, you have a bunch of black women on the show. They're allowing Nick Fuentes to say the N-word. They tell him, say it, say it, say it. And then he says it, okay? And then when he said it, you know, if you listen to the uncensored version, it doesn't even sound like the guy actually says the N-word, right? It's the most kind of awkward N-word I've ever heard, okay? From a guy who's allegedly a white supremacist or racist. He must use it all the time, right? He didn't really sound like he used it all the time, okay? He just sounded like, oh, I'm being forced to say this word, and because allegedly I'm supposed to be a white supremacist, I need to say it, right? Free speech, what?
Maybe the women were paid to egg him on. How about that? Those women are paid to be on that show. They're not being out of the kindness of their heart because they like Myron. They're there to make a profit. They make money being on that show. Myron pays them. So obviously he paid them to egg Nick on to do that. Or it's just they developed the script and that's what they're supposed to do. Basically, these women are prostitutes.
Whatever, right? So he says it. He doesn't say it just once. He says it twice. The first time he said it, it was the hard ER. The second time he said it, it was with the A. Okay, and then, you know, in between you had, you know, black women also saying the N-word as well too. Okay, you know, there was all types of N-words and you know, all types of stuff being thrown around, okay, during this conversation. So again, with that being said, people are gonna be upset about this, but before people get upset about this, I just want to say this. Where were all these people when Myron and Fresh have been using the N-word, okay, since the beginning of the show? Because the fact that there's going to be outrage and people going to be mad about Nick Fuentes saying the N-word is going to tell you exactly what the N-word is all about. Or put it this way, the censorship of the N-word in regards to who can say it and who can't say it. Just think about it. Myron is Arab, right? He's an Arab, okay? He's from Africa. He's from like Sudan or something like that, okay? So he's like a dark-skinned Arab. He's not black, right? He ain't black.
Yeah, and Arabs don't like blacks, especially according to their Islamic faith. They don't like blacks. There's no human rights in those parts of Africa. They do not like black people. Okay? I forgot the word that they say for them. Okay? You could check out Sarah Garvey's channel. He has a lot about the slavery that goes on in Africa, especially in Arab countries in Africa, and how they treat them like crap, and how the Muslim Arabs do not like black Arabs. Okay, so this man right here, he knows nothing because he doesn't study, you know, how Arabs treat blacks in Africa. He doesn't know the history. He doesn't know about Muhammad, how he called blacks raisin heads. How they basically the Arabs had the Arab slave trade. He doesn't know anything. He's just a nice buck dancer, kissing the rear end of white supremacy.
Okay, and I'm a black American. Okay, some people think I'm African because I have the wrong opinions, but I'm black, right? I'm black. Fresh. Fresh is from like what, Haiti or something, Barbados. Okay, I mean, I guess maybe you can count him as black. Who knows? I mean, if you want to extend it to anybody that can say the N word, is their ancestor was a slave over here in the New World or whatever. If you want to define it as that, then maybe Fresh has an N word pass. But again, that's still debatable, right? So again, these people have been saying the N-word. Myron has been saying the N-word since the beginning of the podcast. He's not black, and people aren't mad about it, right? Nobody ever took issue with Myron saying the N-word. So Nick Fuentes, who's white, comes on the podcast and says the N-word, and people have an issue with it. That tells you exactly what the N-word is all about.
No, it tells you that the people have a cultural endearment to the N-word. Like I said, there's N-I-G-G-A among non-whites who are part of the hip-hop culture, part of the urban black culture. All right. And there's an N-I-G-G-E-R, which will put you in the ER. Okay. That's it. I just explained that. All right. Pretty much. Very easy to explain, very easy to understand. There's no, well, how come I can't say the N-word? Because you can't. You don't come from that you don't come from that culture. You're not black. You don't come from those environments. That's it. You're not part of that culture. That's it. That's not hard to understand. Just like there's some things I probably would not be able to say if I wanted to be part of the Asian culture or the Russian culture or whatever culture. I'm not part of it. I can't say that. It's just easy to understand.
It's about keeping white people from saying it. Right? It's not just something for black folks, because there's people of so many different races that use that word. Okay? I've heard Asians use that word. I've heard Arabs use the word. I've heard Africans use the word. I've heard Latinos use the word. I've heard whites use the word. I've heard everybody use the word, okay? And it's like the outrage over this word is so ridiculous considering how ingrained the word is in pop culture. I mean, Nick Fuentes used the word on the podcast and not one of those black women died, right? They didn't die. Okay, they didn't get hurt, right? Their feelings wasn't even that hurt. It was fake outrage because they told him to say it. They're just surprised he actually said it.
It's sad what you have to do to sell out for a brand. It really is. It's sad. And this is how it has to be in order to make it on YouTube. You basically have to sell. Either you are pro-black and you go with all the nonsense, the twerking, the talking about single moms as if they're to be glorified and gangster rap, or you got to be on the conservative side. In order to make it, you have to basically kiss the rear end of white supremacy and have white supremacist talking points, a black white supremacist. And this is what it is. All right, I've had all I could stand. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I will give you the link to the channel where you can get this. I'm on Rumble, Radical Thoughts 791. I'm on Spotify, Hard Talk Radio, live in 4K. Anything else you want to know about this channel, it's in the description box. Later.